Hello. Before we begin the actual story of our home, let us pause for a moment and turn our attention to a text that quietly sets the direction for everything that follows. This is André Luiz's introduction. It can be called Chapter 0 because it is here that the author tells us how to read all the chapters that come after. This introduction does not yet describe the Umbral. It does not speak of the spiritual colony. It does not introduce characters or events. It establishes a perspective. André Luiz begins with a thought that is simple and at the same time profoundly radical. Life does not end. Death is not an ending. It is an illusion of change. He compares life to a great river. Before it reaches the ocean, it passes through many stages, receives tributaries, changes its course, widens through experience, and refines its essence. So it is with the soul. One life is not a conclusion. One body is not an identity. One death is not a verdict. It is only a breath between experiences. The author emphasizes something that may feel uncomfortable for many. Changing the body does not resolve the problems of the spirit, just as changing clothes does not resolve the deeper issues of existence. Death does not make us wiser. It does not make us better. It does not make us purified. It merely reveals what already exists within us. If awareness was shallow, it remains shallow. If life was lived without depth, that emptiness remains. At this point, André Luiz gently dismantles a common religious illusion. There are no final decisions. There are no definitive condemnations. There is no single, ultimate judgment. There is a process. There is a path. There is learning. One incarnation is one act. One body is one garment. One service is one experience. One victory is one step forward. And the spirit matures slowly. The author also addresses those who approach spirituality only intellectually. It is not enough to study phenomena. It is not enough to declare beliefs. It is not enough to belong to a doctrine. Contact with the invisible does not excuse us from responsibility for daily life. On the contrary, it deepens that responsibility. Earth is not a place of exile. It is a sacred workshop. And each day is material for the shaping of the soul. André Luiz writes with profound humility. He does not present himself as a master. He does not speak as an authority. He does not promise revelations. He speaks as one who shares experience. What he offers is only a fragment of truth, a partial testimony, a sincere account of a journey. That is why he speaks anonymously, out of brotherly love, without seeking recognition. The introduction ends with a subtle but important note. The author does not wish to burden anyone with the idea of eternity. He does not seek to frighten. He does not attempt to convince. He simply offers a few essential reflections to those who are ready to receive them. Because the Spirit, as he reminds us, moves where it wills. Chapter 0 teaches us one essential truth. This book is not about the afterlife. It is about responsibility for life. Not about what happens after death, but about how we live before it. And so, before we enter the umbral, before we discover our home, before we meet its guides and workers, we are invited to accept one thing. Life is a school, and death does not release us from its lessons. The journey is only beginning. See you soon.